Now let's talk about the resources. What happened with the resources during execution? Do you remember that before in the planning phase, what I did? I did the resource management plan, and also I did an assessment of which resource do I need. But of course, I don't hire them. I don't buy them there. Most of the time you acquire resource as late as possible because you don't want to invest in stock. So the execution time is the time for acquire the resources. So acquire, and please, the word may be a little bit tricky here. When I say acquire, I'm saying hire, buying. So because we are now covering all types of resources here. What do you need to acquire resource? Project management plan, project documents. Which kind of document? Resource requirement. I need to know which resource requirement, right? I need maybe to have a risk register to understand which kind of risk I'm incurring on the resource. Of course, I need to know how my organization recruit. What is the lessons learned on previous hiring from that supplier, for example, because this will be interconnected with procurement if I need to acquire an external resource. Tools and technique, decision making, interpersonal and team skills, pre-assignment. Let me explain what is pre-assignment. Pre-assignment is when you do not assign John or Mary, but you assign a skill. You say, I need a senior software developer. And then I assign a software developer. I don't know who will do that, if it's John or if it's Mary. But with the pre-assignment, it's a simpler way for me to get moving because I don't know if John will be on leave on that day. So I use the pre-assignment just to save the slot of that skill. I need that skill on that time frame. And of course, other technique is virtual teams, because many times the work on the project will be distributed. So one tool is the use of virtual teams. And then output is the physical resource assignment. It's the person and the material and the equipment there to do the work. Project team assignments that I know, oh, John will do this, Mary will do that. Resource calendar, I will combine here when John will be on leave. So I can organize this. And of course, I can produce change requests. As I said to you many times, all the process will generate change requests. Updates on the project management plan, on the documents, on the enterprise environmental factors, and the process assets. So everything is updated based on the learning of acquiring resources. Maybe I need to revisit my budget because the resource I want to buy, it's much more expensive now, for example, due to supply and demand. And then 9.4, I will develop the team. So right now, when I'm executing, I need to make a group of people a team. Because this team is what will mean that 1 + 1 is not 2, but it's 3 or 4, because I will create a bond. So all aspects related to motivation, to incentives will take place here. So basically what I do, I take the project management plan, the documents, all the cultural aspects of my organization, the lessons learned, and what I do collocation, I do virtual team, I use communication, interpersonal and team skills, recognition and rewards, training, assessments, meetings. So I use all the tools I have in my Swiss arm knife to make sure that the team work as a team. And what is the output I'm expecting? Team performance assessment. I want to know how my team is performing. Change requests related to that. As I said to you, every single process has an output of change request on the execution. And of course, project plan updates, document updates, and updates on the enterprise and lessons learned. For example, I will create a type of incentive and it didn't work. So this will become a lesson learned for the organization. Or maybe, for example, I want one skill on my team and then I lost half of my team because a competitor hired them. Because the enterprise environmental factor is changing because more people in other organizations are requiring that expertise. So everything, remember, we are with our project inside a pan with water. The water boils, the water becomes cold, and you are inside and you will be affected by that. Okay, every single learning process that you can update your organization to be more prepared is extremely valid. And the last process here on the resource side is manage the team. Okay, what is a manage the team? So it's basically what you take all the documents of the project, your plan, the report, okay, the report that you have from your team, the assessments, and of course, the policies that your organization have for example, poor performers, which kind of approach do you use with low performance, how do you handle that? And basically, you use interpersonal team skills and you use software to understand the assignments. And then you produce change requests and of course, project plan updates, document updates, and enterprise and environmental factors update. So basically, you are managing the team. You need to replace someone, you need to change someone. So this is exactly, so one thing is developing a team where you take care of the motivation side on rewards and this. And the management, it's I need to replace someone, I need to change someone, I need to change the approach, I need to simplify the stack so my resource is available on that. So everything you do to make sure that you are making the best use of your resource during the execution.